G'day viewers, today's video is a little bit different to most. Today is going to be the day of a life, the day of a life, and day in a life.
Life of a day, day of a life.
The day of a life. I can't even talk. I'm smiling because this is like my 5th attempt. So it's the day in the life of an e-waste recycler / scrapper. I'm going to show you how I go from the beginning to the end to get the pieces that I need to do videos for you guys. A lot of people just think it magically appears, you know, like I must buy it in bulk or something ready to go. You can't make money if you do that. It's such a hard thing to make money from as it is. You need to do whatever you have to buy it as cheap as possible or get it free. You can't just go buying e-waste from eBay or something. I've done videos on this before. You can't make money that way. You can't even break even unless you get a really good deal. Some people snag good deals, but it doesn't happen that often. So we'll go around the front and I'll start you. I'll show you where it starts. And if I can get my words out, we'll get this video done. Okay, so I get a lot of drop-offs. People bring things to me, they dump it on the porch, which is what I ask them to do, and then I have to try and remove it from the porch so that the porch doesn't look ugly and to make room for more. So I've got a pile of laptops and a box of whatever, cords and all kinds of things that get dropped off, a bag of cords and bits, there's a modem in there, and then there's this mountain of towers. I don't know if you can see it, just goes forever. There's some wire up there. I'm going to show you. Towers. And there's a bag of wire and another modem and all kinds of things that get dropped off to me. Like even got the kitchen sink. And then from here, to try and stop the front yard looking messy, and also make room for more drop-offs, I pile it into the garage. And I can't even get the garage door open, there's that much in there. I'll go in the back. So there's tubs and full of bits and pieces and metal and all sorts of small things, and heat sinks, fans, keyboards, you name it, towers. And then my girlfriend's been helping me. She set up her little station over here where she's been scrapping, and then she puts the rubbish like plastic into one box, and there's a couple of boxes of it, another one there. She found this little syringe. It's not drugs before you think it's copper paste. So you know how you see thermal conductive paste on the back of heat sinks, and it's usually like a aluminium colour? Well, for some reason this is copper. So I'm still trying to work out what I'm going to do with that. I might just wipe it on some copper that I'm taking to the scrapyard. And then she puts all the boards in a box for me, takes them inside for me to depopulate. And around here, these are all boxes that I've got to take inside to process, to depopulate. That's Gold Corner BGA. And then there's more boxes. It just never ends. And this is obviously where my experiments get done. It's where my last video was made. Haven't packed it up yet. So here's where I depopulate all my boards. This is a tub full of the metal plugs and so on, which at a later date I'll go through. This is a tub that's got boards with any little specks that have got gold on it. This is a tub that I depopulate into so I can sort through it all. And there's my little containers that I keep things in. There's some fingers for the soldering iron to scrape the gold off. And then here are some boards that I've already depopulated, and they will be sold to a scrapyard who comes out. There's 2 more boxes here full of boards. I just leave things like this on because they're no good to me. The amount of gold that's on these is such a minuscule amount, like the tiniest little dip on the end of the pins. Not worth it. I used to pull all these things apart, but I've been overrun with work at the moment. There's just so much for me to do that I really haven't got the time for these, and it's better for me just to leave a little bit of juice on the board for the next guy. And I get 60 cents a kilo, which I've never heard of anyone getting 60 cents a kilo. So you know, just leave a few pins. These pins have got the lightest coating of gold. It's not worth me chasing the gold. So when they're like that, I just leave them on the board. If there's a bit darker coating, I take them for sure. But that would cost me more in acid than it would be to get the gold. So once I've depopulated them all, I come inside and I put this on my lap and I pick through and get out the things I want. I've got nice gold pins in here. Very rarely these have gold in them. Sometimes they have tiny amounts, but this one just seems to have a little bit more than usual, so I thought I'd just keep that one. Nice gold pins in there, almost full coated. They come right to the back here. Just cut that little bit of solder off and then I'll have a full coated pin. These ones look quite nice. Here's an example of one that's not really as coated as I'd like, but they do get better. Sorry if I'm puffing, I'm asthmatic. I've had to explain this to a lot of people. I get out of breath pretty easy. So there's a lot of pins for me to sort through. There's some nice gold pins. They look pretty good. These have nice pins in them. Only one-sided, unfortunately, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. And then I've got to sort through this and take out all the ICs and EGAs and whatever else. So yeah, I'm going to be busy this for a while. There's some nice gold pins. So that'll be my next thing on the list. But right now, I'm getting RAM ICs for a video. And obviously they don't start with no pins. This container was full. Well, all of these were in there. And I'm gradually taking off these legs. They may not look very long. You may think, well, why bother with little legs like that? But every bit of metal that the nitric has to dissolve is a waste of nitric. And as many of us know, nitric is way too hard or too expensive to waste. So, you know, as I said before, it's hard to make $1 in this. It's hard to even break even sometimes. So you got to do whatever it takes, and that includes trimming off metal that's only going to waste acid. Yes, I could put these in AP and it would eat the legs off, but I don't have the comfort of waiting 6 months because, you know, the channel wants videos every week and I don't have the privilege of waiting to be able to make these. If I put them in acid in AP, then you guys would have nothing to watch. So, you know, I've got to keep doing things like these pins. Yeah, some people just put them in AP. Well, I'm not going to have the ability to do that because you guys need videos, so I need to use nitric acid. So I've got to save it wherever I can. So basically what I do is grab one at a time and I use these little cutters. These are the best thing I've ever found for doing e-waste. However, they're weak, they break, the jaws break off. I go through at least 4 or 5 pairs of these a week. So I buy them in bulk. I buy 10 or so at a time, and they get so close to the edge of the chip. Look at that, barely anything to show you there. And bigger, larger, normal wire cutters don't get that close. You know, I don't have my glasses on, so I'm working blind at the moment. But And what I do is I put my finger on the end here over the cutters, so that when I cut, the wire, the bits of metal don't fly all over the house. You're not going to cut your fingers, the blade's down this end. You just put on the pins where you want it, put your finger there, don't push hard, you just rest it there and then cut. And the metal stays here or on the chip, it just falls down. And that goes in there and so forth. So I'll carry on with this, and that's pretty much it for you guys. Once I've sorted these, then I go outside and do videos. I just wanted you guys to see that there's a long process involved, and it doesn't stop here. I've got to pull all these pins out manually one by one. Then I've got to trim off any parts that have solder on them, because they're not going to be gold underneath. I used to think they were, and I'd get hydrochloric acid onto them and get rid of the solder, and then you'd see there's no gold there anyway. So it's easier just to, once you pull them out, trim off the part where the gold stops. So I've got to do that. That's going to take hours and days. You know, all these sorts of pins here, they've all got to be pulled out one by one. All of these plugs here, pull out the pins one by one. Sort out the chips. And I've got to cut all the legs off those. That's going to take days. So, you know, it's not a quick process. And it's the reason why I don't have kilos and kilos of things to show you in large videos, because I just don't have time for things to mount up to that amount. I need to get videos out. If I wasn't doing videos, yeah, I could store this and build it up until I got 5 or 10 kilos to process. But for you guys, I've got to keep the videos coming. So it means I just do what I can to get a video happening. I hope you guys understand that. I hope this was interesting to you to see what goes into getting videos for you guys, and how much is involved. You know, it's not as quick and easy as a lot of people think. I'm sure the scrappers out there would understand. So I hope you liked it, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.